Hi, it's Arky3. In this video, I'd like to once again ask the question, why do we just accept it when geologists say a feature like this is natural, when obviously it looks man-made? If you study this feature closely, you can even see how it's made. You can see the stacks of rocks, the mortar and stone masonry work, the plastered layers of minerals that have then been pecked and chipped at to make art. It's in the lower section of this purplish area I labeled area 2. Most of the photos in this video are taken from the north side of this one Y-shaped stone feature. Satellite photos of the area show that it is totally disturbed. In this view, you can see the lines of large rocks on top of the feature. This stone feature just doesn't kind of look like human and animal figures. They have identifiable characteristics defined by the coloration and the stacking and modification of the rocks. Not just from one angle, but from every angle. And the entire area looks like a giant stone workshop, with piles of rocks all cleaved and chipped into heads and covered in art. Every stack of rocks, no matter what size, forms a human or animal figure. This art is not typical Native American rock art, and the images are of animals and people from all over the world. The only history we have from this ancient time is that of the Aztec, who say they were from this area and that they were one of 7 tribes. These tribes came from all over the world, and they apparently brought their own cultures and religions with them. The Romans, Mongols, and other empires were known to have consisted of various tribes working together. Norse legends even say that the Vikings were Aztec. All this known history is ignored by archaeologists and even ridiculed. Why? I don't know. I have observed the human activity all around this ridgeline and the surrounding terrain. I know this area well, and I'm an experienced archaeologist who worked on excavations and surveys around Pena, Blanca when I was younger. I used to accept that all this was natural. But I'm telling you now, this is all man-made and verifiably so. Geologists to the end of time will insist that this feature is natural. You see, from the beginning of the profession, it has been assumed that the surface of the planet is a natural feature. This assumption of a natural origin for all things has been adopted by geomorphologists, archaeologists, botanists, and zoologists. All these disciplines ignore the fact that humans have been here for tens of thousands of years, modifying the world around them to make it more productive and to build monuments to their legacies. If you are in one of these professions, you can't question these assumptions or you will be ostracized by your peers and considered a kook. Geologists won't study it to see if it is man-made. They will instead make up geologic and erosional processes they think prove it's natural. And it will all be speculation, built on assumptions about our planet and our prehistory. Archaeologists will say that it is natural because it just can't exist. It doesn't meet their expectations for human-made features in this area. Yet what we believe about prehistory is again based on huge assumptions and speculation, most of it from over 100 years ago. Because of a lack of critical thinking in archaeology and geology, these assumptions have never been questioned or tested, yet they are accepted as facts. Not only that, but if you even suggest other people from around the world were in the Americas, you will be ostracized and, again, considered a kook. Instead of teaching students to question assumptions, academia is a form of brainwashing that keeps you in line and punishes you for thinking outside the box of conventional wisdom. Wisdom, often in the form of ideas, I'll say it again, often made up over 100 years ago. So you can see here how these features were built. Each segment is comprised of rock and mortar masonry and coated with a concrete-like plaster. Different colored minerals are added in layers, then chipped, pecked, and rubbed to create art. The figures scale to different view distances and change as you change angles, and can even be rotated. A geologist would say that this feature just eroded out of a bigger geologic deposit. This idea can't really be proven, and it doesn't match what you see here. All the rocks look freshly cleaved and broken, not rounded, smooth, and dark like weathered stones. This feature is supposed to be comprised of rhyolitic tuff formed from volcanic ash. Why would it all be blocky and stacked with rows of stones sitting loosely on top of all these features? Why would it all be chipped and pecked to look like heads? But scientists can't open their minds enough to see when something is man-made because they've been told their entire lives that this is all natural. So ask yourself, do you trust your own eyes or the word of experts? Experts working on assumptions hundreds of years old. Geologists who don't look close enough or contemplate how these rocks could end up forming statues. These photos show stones set in mortar, chipping and pecking, large cleaved rocks, stone workshops, and artwork on every surface. You don't have to believe me, believe your own eyes, and contemplate how possibly natural processes could create this, because it seems pretty unrealistic to think that they could.